Hello, and welcome to A VO's Journey. My name is Anthony Pica. This show is all about helping the new and upcoming voiceover artists grow their business and sidestep all the crazy things that I seem to step on. Today's episode, we're going to be talking about 3 voice acting tips and tricks for you and your business. I love voice acting. I did a podcast yesterday about acting in general and my belief that because of AI, because of the sheer amount of people that it just keeps coming into the voiceover industry, we have to separate ourselves from other people. And our acting skills, our ability to tell a story is paramount to our success. So let's go ahead and dive in. But real quick, before we do that, I just want to tell you real quickly, if you've not joined A VO's Journey Elite yet, it's an awesome group. We meet Wednesdays tonight and Saturdays, and we get together to help each other grow our businesses through marketing training, voice acting training, DAW training, business training, everything we do. We use analytics, coaching, breakout sessions, all sorts of things. We'd love to have you. There'll be a link below, and you can also check it out on avosjourney.com. Okay, so let's go ahead and dive into the voice acting tips and tricks. Number 1, tempo. So when we talk about tempo, we're talking about the speed in which you deliver your lines. Okay, we can speak really fast and talk really fast and upbeat, or we can go slow and speak a lot. We could speak at a pace that really drives the temperature down. Okay, tempo is an amazing way to vary your deliveries, and they can be for multiple reasons, right? A fast tempo, okay, usually indicates something upbeat, more exciting, or more intense. Okay, but not always. Okay, but definitely more exciting, more in your face, quicker things. We talk about tempo when we do radio ads, things like that. But then a slower tempo. Okay, a slower tempo can, bring the bring the intensity back. Can make us think more. All right, can make us feel more about what is actually happening in the words that we're saying. Okay, it kind of goes more mental, which we're going to get into that a little bit later in another tip. But great way to vary up your reads from the start without changing anything difficult is your tempo. All right, your speed, how fast you go and how slow you go. Try it out, all right, with different reads and listen to yourself or record yourself and listen back and say, how does that make it sound? What is the difference with it? Okay, a lot of times, again, speed has to do with, what story you're trying to tell. Because no matter all the tips and tricks we go over today, it's about the stories that we're telling and how we're telling it. Okay, so our first tip today is vary your tempo. Okay, we've got fast and slow, and you can vary it in between there. Okay, all right, the next thing we're going to talk about is volume. I love this one. Well, I love all of these, but volume in particular is exciting to me because I love manipulating how loud and how soft I am. When I do these videos or I do my podcast, I'm often quite loud. When I do a lot of voiceovers, I like to get a lot more intimate into the mic with a lot of reads, especially if the script is psychological, philosophical. It's making people think about what they're listening to or feel more about what they're listening to, right? It's a way for us to act like we are in someone's ear, because a lot of times we are, or like we're whispering in someone's ear. Now, if you noticed, on a side note, the proximity to the microphone matters. Now I'm gonna tie this in with volume, but this mic technique is a whole nother thing. But I'm gonna tie this in with volume because as I get louder, okay, which usually when we're louder, it indicates more excitement. All right, more interest. It usually can be fast with tempo. Okay, but when I get louder, I'm going to back away from the microphone a little bit. But when I get softer and I lower my volume, I'm going to get closer to the microphone. And you'll notice the closer you get to the microphone, it breeds more of an intimate feel. Okay, so that is definitely another aspect of volume. All right, if we're going to go loud or we're going to go soft, and then the proximity to the microphone. If we're loud, we get a little bit away from the microphone. Okay, if we are softer, we're going to get closer to the microphone. All right, one can breed excitement, anticipation, okay, for that excitement, and then the other one can breed intimacy, philosophical thought. It also can breed expectation, okay, but that's going to lead us into our third one, which is energy. Now, this is, again, another great one. I got this from a incredible teacher. His name's Pat Fraley. Teaches, has been around forever and does some audiobook stuff. And this energy section, he talks about kinetic energy and psychological energy. And the idea with kinetic energy, right, is related to movement. That's excitement, all right? That's big, the way we tell a story, and then you go further into it, well, what does that mean to be excited when you tell a story? Well, the energy means, that's something that you are expressing with lots of gravitas, with lots of excitement, lots of energy, all right? Kind of like, what I mean, what I'm doing right now, I'm telling you this story, it's big, it's important, this is the way it needs to happen. If you understand what I'm saying, you are going to get it and you are going to be able to grow your business. There's like energy there, right? It's kinetic energy. Now, when we talk about psychological energy, this is where we really focus on changing and shifting our tone, our tempo, our volume. This begins to put multiple ones together in order to tell the story in a unique way. All right. And so when we go to energy, we think of kinetic energy, all right, vibrancy, upbeat spirit, moving forward with, and then psychological energy, making you think, all right, making you have to take a moment and actually listen intently to what's happening. Okay. And so, this is a cool way. I think I love energy and weaving that in and out. And it all depends too on what the script calls for. So that's another important tip to go with energy is that, and we can go into analyzing your script. That's from a whole nother video, but it is important. And I believe it's important to do it quickly is because we're directing ourselves. The majority of us are directing ourselves. We're in our own home studio. We have very minimal direction from the person who's hired us. And we have to look at a script and we have to make a decision quickly. So when we make that decision quickly, all right, we need to decide. I call it acting decisions. You make an acting decision. You decide what type of delivery, that you're going to give based on what the words are giving you and the brief amount of directions that you got from. Sometimes I literally get no directions. I just get a script. Sometimes I get very minimal directions. Sometimes I get a lot of directions. Sometimes I get a video or a reference from the person themselves or something that they saw somewhere that they wanted, like, you know what I mean? But the idea here is that you have to make that acting decision, and using kinetic energy or psychological energy allows you to really tell that story in a special way. All right, now I'm going to give you an extra tip. Okay, and this is one of my favorite ones, especially to set me apart from other voice actors, okay, and especially to set us apart from robots, and that is interjections, okay? Interjections are when you add in anecdotes, add in noises, add in something that is not necessarily in the script, but is related to a feeling, an emotion, a term of speech, if you will. So if I said, I really feel like we're in a challenge state. Okay, so you notice how I went, I really feel. So that breath, okay, yes, I was breathing out, but that breath was an interjection of emotion that you got a feeling that what I was saying with that breath was frustration. okay, was, we're stuck in this point, okay? Just that breath. And there's many different interjections, and this allows us to express emotion, ideas, storytelling without even saying lines, but adding those adding those interjections in really ups our game. Now, not every script is going to call for that, but that allows you to, again, separate yourself from the crowd, separate yourself from AI, which we know is becoming more important, and really give you a leg up. All right, you guys, thank you so much for watching. Please take a moment to follow, like, and subscribe if you are interested in getting some more acting tips like I put out. And if you haven't listened to my podcast, the VO's Journey podcast, you check that out. There'll be a link below to do that. But, my last episode, 210, I talked about this very topic and the major shift we're having in the voiceover industry with this type of focus more and more on acting, just because of the influx of AI, the continued influx of voice actors. So we need to really make sure we're focusing on growing ourselves as actors, and that we can stand out and we can stand apart from all those others. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. You have a great Wednesday. I hope to see you. Check out a VO's Journey Elite. Talk to you soon. Goodbye.